for prayer and pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donnie, would you give the prayer also tonight? Please include Tommy Latkins and his passing, as well as the sheriff. He's out sick. He's got the flu.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you, God, for another day you give us, Lord. We ask, Lord, that you just continue to bless everybody here every home that's represented here tonight, Lord. We ask, Lord, that you just bless the family of Tommy Likens, Lord, that in his passing, Lord. We ask, Lord, that you just be with the sheriff in his sickness, Lord. We ask, Lord, that you just watch over Linda and her traveling, Lord. We ask that you just watch over our whole county, God, and keep them safe. We ask this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Nikki, get the roll call going.
Eric Helfrey,
Here.
Donnie Keaton,
Here.
Tommy Fannin,
Here.
Brandon Evans,
Here.
Leroy Phipps,
Here.
Jim Gazay.
Here. Okay, minutes of the last meeting. Go ahead and read those and I'll entertain a motion. Yeah, please put your phones on vibrate.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the last two meetings.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes of March 13th special meeting and the March 27th regular meeting of the Morgan County Fiscal Court. Is there any amendments or corrections to be made? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move into the treasurer's work. Shannon?
Okay, we'll start with number 5A, which is the financial statement. We have three attachments for the court to view. The first one is the reconciled financial statement as of March 31st, 2025. This is a reconciled bank and book balance across all funds. I have also attached a revenue condition report and an appropriation condition report, which shows in detail that summarized financial statement. And if you all have any questions, just let me know. We'll just need approval on the financial statement.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial statement for March 31st as presented.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the financial statement for March 31st, 2025 as presented. Questions, discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Move on, Shane.
Okay, 5B is changes to the budgeted chart of accounts. We have added 7 different line items, or we are requesting to add 7 different line items to the budgeted chart of accounts. This is all in reference to the coal severance projects that were the resolution that was approved at the last meeting. I have an attachment for you all to view there. The top 5 are the expenditure line items. They are all expense accounts. If you'll notice, I have divided each one of those out into each separate project so that way we can keep track of the exact amount of funding for the expense, the mowing equipment for Parks and Rec, the splash pad grant match, the food pantry freezer, the animal shelter kennels, HVAC roof, and the road department HVAC and ditcher. The bottom 2 line items are the revenue account codes. That will be for the general fund projects that will be coming in from the coal severance funds, and the other one is for the road fund coal severance funds that will be coming in to support those projects. We are just requesting approval to add those line items to the budgeted chart of accounts.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes to the budgeted chart of accounts as presented.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve changes to the budgeted chart of accounts as presented. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, moving along to 5C, which is budget amendments. We have 2 to present tonight. The first one would be the second reading of budget amendment number 9 for $16,896.74. That is for the SAR grant funds approved. This amendment was submitted after court approval by DLG. I have included that attachment with the state local finance officer signing off on that for you all to view. And the second one would be the first reading of budget amendment number 10, which is in reference to the Morgan County Fiscal Court coal severance projects, the multiple Morgan County projects. That one is in the amount of $392,623. And we would just need approval for the adoption of the second reading and the SAR grant funds. The first one would be a presentation of the first reading of budget amendment number 10. But if you have any questions, just let me know.
I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of budget amendment number 9.
I'll second.
A motion on the floor has been properly seconded for the approval of adoption of budget amendment number 9 as presented. Questions, discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, we're moving right along to 5D, which is budget transfers. This is fiscal year 25 budget transfers number 10. I have an attachment for you all to view. We have 2 funds that are needing funding in the budget. The first one is in the general fund. We would be transferring over to the above listed accounts from the general fund reserved for transfers $116,110. And as you can see, those the coal severance projects will have to be paid out, and I have included animal shelter expenditures for the kennel project. The community outreach would be for the freezer and some other funding pending court approval. The horse park, for instance, these are just some various projects, and then of course the mowing equipment will be the $35,000. But all of those total for $116,110, and the majority of the funding will be reimbursed by the coal severance funds back into the reserve. On the road fund, we have from the reserve for transfers into those various accounts will be $50,500. And of course, that is also for the ditcher, has been included in that transfer as well. The total budget transfers for both of those funds will be $166,610 total. We'll just need approval to make those budget transfers.
Is there something else on the Parks and Recreations, on the mowing equipment? I thought, is it gonna be $45,000?
Which one is it? The Parks and Recreation and Maintenance equipment?
Yeah,
The $35,000?
well, it's 45, ain't it?
Okay, let me see.
It's 35.
It's 30.
Which one am I looking at? Okay. Well, I just estimated it just in case. I think it come in like
It was a little less than that.
34 and some change, like 34 something. I just rounded it to 35. Any of the unused funds we can put right back into the reserve. But I think the what was the quote? 34,000 and a few dollars. So I just rounded it up to 35.
When they have the other equipment.
Yeah, well, that's, see, mine's still showing 45.
Oh, you're still showing 45? That's 35.
That's what his is showing, but see, mine's ordinance number 10.
35.
Are you on the?
Right one.
Maybe yours pulled up there. Go to budget transfers. It may have pulled up the wrong one on there. Is it? Okay. These things are they do crazy things sometimes.
I see 35.
Okay. Yeah, but it was like 34,000 and some change, so we rounded it up to the 35,000. Any unused portion of that money can be put right back into the reserve through amendment, and we just wanted to put that in there to be sure to budget that. We actually, it was approved for a little bit more than that. I think it was like 45.8, but it come in a lot lower, the quote. So we wouldn't need all of that funding at this moment for the mowing equipment. It was actually a little cheaper than we thought. While we're on the subject of the mowers, we had talked to Randy earlier this week, and he said that everything should be in by tomorrow to pick up. He was just waiting on one of the walk behind things to come in, but the mowers were in.
I'll make a motion to approve budget amendment number 10. Sorry, budget transfer number 10.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second for approval of fiscal year 25. Number 10, budget transfer number 10. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next up is 5E, interfund cash transfers. We have two of those to present to the court tonight. The first one is, of course, from the general fund to the jail fund of $50,000. That's in order to support our jail fund operations. We would need approval to make that interfund cash transfer. And the second one is a budgeted cash transfer. Every year we do a road cost allocation worksheet and submit it to DLG. It allows for funding from the road department to be transferred to the general fund for various things that are paid out of the general fund that also support the road fund. And this has been budgeted as a revenue on the general fund side. So this is just part of the budget that we would need approval to do both of those interfund cash transfers.
Can we do it in one motion, or do we need two?
I think you can do them in one.
Motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the interfund cash transfer as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor has been properly seconded to approve interfund cash transfers as presented. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 5F is the quarterly MCFC liabilities report. Every quarter, and of course this is the ending of the quarter, we present the liabilities report. So this is the fiscal court report ending March 31st, 2025. I have an attachment for you all to view there. This just tells a summarized statement of our liabilities. We also submit this to DLG. We do a digital upload, and this is part of what we send in for our quarterly report. We have submitted that to them as well. We'll just need approval of that liabilities report. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
I make a motion to approve the Morgan County Fiscal Court Liabilities Report as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor has been properly seconded to approve the quarterly Morgan County Fiscal Court liabilities report as presented. Questions, discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next we have another quarterly report that we always like to present to the court. This is the Judicial Center Sinking Funds quarterly report. The first one is the Justice Center Series 2013. If you want to open that attachment, we have it balanced as of March 25. The principal balance $610,000 on that. There won't be another payment come out until June on that one, but we always keep a reconciled account on that as well. The next one is the 2020, and we have also have a $6,135,000 principal balance on that, and that tells in detail on that Excel spreadsheet what has come in and went out of the accounts. It just had a little bit of interest. And if you have any questions on either one of those, but we'll just need approval of those quarterly reports as well.
I make a motion to approve the Judicial Center Sinking Funds quarterly report as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor properly second for the approval of the Judicial Center Sinking Funds quarterly report as presented. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, we're almost finished. There's a lot to present tonight.
Just for this section.
Yes. Next up is 5H Bank Pledge Securities, and I have that attachment. We always like to present this to the court to show that all of our funds are being secured by the bank over the FDIC approved amount, And I know that report is sideways, but it will not upload any other way. We've tried, haven't we, Vicki? So as you can see, that is being monitored by the bank monthly, and we like to always present it to the court quarterly for your all's approval on that.
Strange.
It will not go any other way. It comes in sideways every time.
Which way you?
No matter. I've tried. Joe's tried. Vicky's tried.
I'll make a motion to approve the bank pledge securities as presented.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the bank pledge securities as presented. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the last item for the treasurer's report tonight is the treasurer's periodic checklist. This is just informational only to the court. I have the attachment for you all to view there. This is various tasks and reports and jobs that are done throughout the month by me and then double checked by the finance officer. And we just want to show the court that those are being done, completed, and done on a timely basis. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much. That's it.
All right, let's move along. Animal Shelter Director, Kathy, you're up. You have a report for us?
Okay, I haven't been here for a while, so I'll give you all the 2024 totals that we had. We had 212 dogs enter our animal shelter in 2024, and 204 live outcomes. It's only 8 were euthanized. I know that's the big number that everybody always wants to hear about. But we had 93 adoptions, 79 that went to rescue organizations, and 12 that was reclaimed by the owner. So that's 2024 totals. As of today, for 2025, we've had 63 come in, and we currently have 21 dogs in our care. I want to say thank you for the kennel project. It's been a long time coming, and thank you, Judge, for continuing to support the animal shelter and make sure that we are better and safer. And thank you guys for supporting that effort as well. We've done really good with some spay and neuters. We had a grant from the Department of Agriculture. We personally, the county, had 50 dogs and cats spayed and neutered. With that grant, Helping Hands donated $1,000 with this grant as well. So all those participants only had to pay $20, and they had their cat or dog spayed and neutered. So along with the county, Kentucky Humane, and Helping Hands, there's been approximately 150 dogs and cats spayed and neutered since December in this county, which is an excellent number. So we can try to get those numbers down a little bit. And Helping Hands actually still has an ongoing spay and neuter for dogs right now. $20 to $30, $30 for a female, $20 for a male. That's for dogs only, being that the Joni Bernard Foundation, there's a grant for Morgan County. It's actually for the Gateway Area Development District right now. So they spay and neuter cats. So that's why Helping Hands has stepped up and wants to spay and neuter dogs. So that's a current grant that's going on as of right now. Also want to thank you all for the new heat pump that was installed in December. I heard Sheena just now mention that. That was a big deal for us. And the kennels is even a bigger deal. So we're very pleased with that. All the staff has currently, just recently, we have completed 4 and 6 FEMA certifications. That's from Incident Command System and Response and National Incident Management and Response, as well as Animals in Disaster Preparedness and Planning. So we've been getting a lot of certifications here recently. as the judge wanted us to. And they were not easy.
She did it.
Yeah, they kind of drove us a little bit crazy, but we got it done. We got it done. So we're certified in all kinds of FEMA stuff now. We have to thank Helping Hands for Animals. I honestly do not know what we would do without them. You know, as you know, they cover vet costs. We can pick up a dog that's sick, injured, whatever. We can take it to the vet, have it checked out, and it is medically taken care of.
How many animals were helped with that veterinary mobile vet van that came in?
Well, Deborah and I discussed that, Deborah Keller on the board, and we could not exactly remember how many, so it was with them, that's with the Kentucky Humane, Helping Hands, and the county. It rounded up to be about 150.
Yeah.
And Catherine and I was trying to look it up because we couldn't exactly remember
I
how
thought it
many
was like 54 or something.
we was thinking 50-something or 60
Yeah.
that they did, and then the county 50, and then with Helping Hands, it was 150. So we are just so appreciative of Helping Hands. Just this week, they donated $1,000 of flea and tick meds. It's that time of year. Every dog that comes in, they're going to be covered because they're unwanted dogs, so their owners sure not going to give them flea and tick meds. So they're taking care of that for us. They also purchased new software for our animal shelter. It's called Shelter Manager. It's great. It takes a lot of work, but we love it. I can give the judge any type of report he wants on how many's come in, where they went, the outcome. It's a wonderful program, and we are just tickled to death to have this program. Anytime.
It gives us the data we need to write for grants soon.
Exactly, yeah. So it has everything, every dog, every bit of information about the dog and where it came from. So there's also a little map on the side. We just started it, went back and started with January 1st data. But as we progress and get more and more info in there, it will actually show us pins of where we get most of our strays from in the county. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. Helping Hands and the county, so thank you guys for this too, also purchased us a bathing station for the animal shelter. A lot of people may think that's not a big deal. That is a big deal for us to have an actual dog bathtub, because the dogs do not come in clean, and we don't want to send them anywhere dirty. So we're tickled to death with the bathing station. Also, we had a pallet of dog food. I want to say pallet, but it was a truckload of from Family Dollar Distribution. They donated to Helping Hands since they are 501, and Helping Hands donated to us. So we did get a lot of dog food from the Family Dollar Distribution and Helping Hands for Animals. And basically, I think that's all I have for the good information.
All right. Any questions for Kathy? Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
All right. Next up is me, judge's report. First, health update. What's been going on with me? I've been off chemo 2 weeks this Friday. Last week was my first week off of it, and it was the roughest time I've had even when I was on chemo. I went through this whole process with not really a bad experience. What happened was my port came out, and they had to do like a little emergency removal of that in the recliner chair at the oncology lab. And then they put in a PICC line. And as the nurse back there might be able to tell you, they told me that PICC lines cause blood clots. I got 3. And so I got 3 blood clots out of that, and I only had it in there for a week. And so that was the problem last week. That's what made it so rough. But they put me on blood thinners, and so I'm doing much better now. I can breathe again. So everything's okay. I meet next week with my surgeon to just find a date to go in and do the surgery. So everything's hunky-dory so far. Other things going on. Each mattress, I put this on at your table. This is the IH survey, and there's 2 reports in there. That's it now. Let me look at it. There's one from OSHA that OSHA did when they came in. And then the CAECO paid for the slash report from this private company. And basically the stuff that you want to look at is back on page 8 and 9. And 7, we'll start with 7, you see the recommendations. Especially the one under page 8D, you see what they did on that. And what D says, without corrective action, the judge executive's office suite is not suitable for occupancy. Poor perimeter duct drainage issues and the crawl space directly under the office are affecting that office's air quality. And so they put some technical papers in there, and I'll let you look on that. They didn't say that to the rest of the building, but there is mold throughout the rest of the building. But until we go in there, we'd have to get the drainage fixed and everything else on that corner of that whole building there. That's basically what they're saying before we have to take that office in. I just brought that up to give you an update on that. You can take that home with you and read it, put you to sleep tonight. And both OSHA and the other parties in there. Alcohol license. We issued our first alcohol license today. I believe it was to, who was that to? Oh, Halsey, the store over in Ezel. And we got 2 beer licenses issued. So, and we have 1 liquor and 1 beer pending. And there's more applications to be filed. Right now, it looks like all 6 liquor applications are going to go out in the county. Because nobody in the city has put anything up yet, last I heard. Admin code. We started working on that admin code last year. We're still working on it. We started working actively with giveaway ad, and we meet just about every Friday on Zoom and work on that, and we probably got 30 to 40% of it done. We go one section at a time. But once they get done with that, we'll bring it to the court and submit it for approval. State roads. I met with KYTC last week, District 10. This is the roads that they're going to be actively working on, and this doesn't include there's other roads report too, but this is stuff that they're working on now. Kentucky 772 at mile point 10.94, they're putting the rail crib in. At Kentucky 772, mile point 11.8, more rail crib. Kentucky 2498 at mile point 7.2, rail and crib, that's under contract. Kentucky 3089, mile point, .61, rail and crib. Kentucky 3345, mile point 278, they're replacing pipe. And that's at the junction of 705 they're doing that at. Again on Kentucky 3345, mile point 4.85, they're putting pipe and getting it geoteched. They had a bad break. And then once again, Kentucky 345, mile point 4.728, rail and crib. And Kentucky 705, mile point 0 to 0.5, they're going to be doing patching and some guardrail work. And Kentucky 705, mile point 4.9 to 6.0, they're going to be doing patching. And Kentucky 1260, mile point 1.35 to 275, they're going to be resurfacing. So that's what's going on with that. There'll be more road information coming up here too. Regional transportation projects. We got 3 of those sponsored by the county. One is Hospital Hill, that's been funded. They're doing purchasing on that. So that should be taken, we should see that this year. The other sponsored project is a construction upgrade from 519 to the bottom of Wrigley Hill. And then I asked for a planning study and got that. We're going to be doing a planning study from 460 from the Menifee line to the McGoffin County line. So once we get that study done, then we can start looking at what they're going to fix on it. So that's all future projects. State bridges.
Are they still planning on 460 east this year from 1081 to the McGoffin County line?
Yeah.
That was already funded.
That was already funded. They're still planning on that. State bridges, there's 6 of them that they're looking at. That's route number 1318, Gillum Branch Road, Lake Branch, there's a bridge, deck replacement. 1276, Index Road at Little Caney Creek, drift at Center Wall. Route number 1221, Railroad Fork Road, and Stone Cold Fork, protect exposed piles. Route 1038, Lower Caney Branch, and Open Fork. Erosion behind Waiting Wall, they're gonna be fixing that. Griffey Branch and Stacy Fork, there's a scour, very minor, at A2. And then Bryant Fork, and Greasy Fork, they're gonna do another minor scour. So that's what Bridges the State will be working on. We also got funded, if you saw that post we made, Highway 172, they're gonna resurface, just about all that, I think. And that come from working with Richard White. He got us, Highway 172 and Ivy Lane. That's coming directly out of legislature funding, not from KYTC. State bridges, went over that. Safety inspection that we started, last year, we've got 90% of that completed now. And, they cleaned the books up at, State OSHA, so we're good to go on that. The regular 10%, you can probably guess what that problem is. Transfer station. And they're helping us with that because there's no way we can fund that right now. And it's pretty major. So there's another county had an issue, the exact same issue. So they're looking to them. They're going to talk to that county, see what they did, and get back to them, see how we can fix that fall issue down there.
Speaking of the transfer station, we talked about it last meeting. Can we go ahead and purchase a bigger building for them for that way they can have a break area? And
Yeah, if you want to make I got no problem with that. We can put it. You want to take it out of economic development, or?
I mean, it wouldn't be 10, 15,000. Be a good sized building.
You know where we can pull that money from?
It would need to come out of the general fund.
Let's
We
look and
could-
see
we
where we
could-
can pull that money from. I'm on board with you on that. They did need some.
Yeah.
Right now, they don't even have a place to wash their hands till I call that man and got them a place to wash their hands down there.
Yeah.
They don't have a place to eat or anything.
They can put that inside.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to fix down there. Yeah, they can put that inside and they get,
Break room table.
break room table, they can place it how to eat. No, I'm fully on board with that. Let's look more into that, see where we can pull that money from.
I
Get
think that,
and let's have it ready at least by
what
next
did you
board
say? How much?
I'm just guessing 10 to 15,000.
Yeah.
Call around to the building places.
meeting. Yeah, see what kind of price we can get.
Need to go up there and probably do some measuring, see exactly what size to fit it.
That old building, we can demolish it and put it right there.
Yep.
That, brown building, as soon as you turn into there, if you go down below and then come up, between the barn and, this sort of sets there between the barn and their little shack.
What I was thinking, I don't know if it'd work or not, is use it for for all of it. Just where their little money shack's at. You thinking about taking all that out and doing all the money and everything in the one building?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Put
Get
a
them
little,
out, get everyone out
have a
there.
little window there, they can sit down into that. And, all right, we'll look at that.
Yeah, they'll build it any way you want to build it.
Yeah, we'll talk to we got several of them around here, we'll talk to them, see what kind of price they give us. All right, that's a good
I don't
point.
think it would be a problem for the funding. It would be fine.
Yeah.
If you all choose to do that.
Yeah, because we wouldn't want to put the one down there.
Yeah.
We can use it later because you'll see on my report, I got the solar thing. And we can use it, we can continue to use it. It won't go anywhere.
Yeah, they might have 170 on 519 or up on 172, either one.
Yeah,
Would you like for us to get you all some quotes?
Yeah,
Just
just get
email
us some
them to you
quotes.
all?
give us some quotes.
We can do that next week, Vicki. We'll call around and get some quotes. And if you all don't care, maybe somebody shoot us some measurements on what you would be wanting, like how big of a
We can go down there and get Randall
building
and
to
guys.
see.
Yeah, get them guys measured.
Let them guys do that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, moving along, safety inspections, and I think there was only 111 counties out of 120. Well, that's all. There was still 9 counties that didn't invite them in. They're all getting hit hard. So you either got the white hats or you got the black hats that come in and inspect. We asked the white hats to come in. And OSHA training. Well, not only do we have FEMA training going on, we got OSHA training going on as well. Getting them up to par, getting along with OSHA 30 and stuff like that. Flooding, the damage assessment from the flooding, so far the damage assessment team, and I gotta give a big shout out to the roads department. They did a good job, them and Vanessa and And Andy, working for that, they figured all this out, and it only took 3 hours to do all this damage assessment because of all the information they already had gained. And the original EM said it was the quickest and easiest one he'd ever done. But what we're gonna get out of that is $452,500. That's what we're estimating right now. And that's not gonna get every culvert in the county fixed, but because they started, minimum unit has to be $4,200 before they'll even accept it as a project. But we still got $452,000 out of it, so that's pretty good. Disaster training, as you heard Kathy say, they're not the only ones doing it. All departments are doing the disaster training, and they're doing the online versions. And the courses 101, 102, and then we're going to get 300 and 400 here because in the future, one of the things that we found out during these, we've had some historic disasters here, 4 in a row, and our folks just wasn't up to par on that. I'll say it. We did the best we could. But we need that incident command system stuff in here. We need to be able to set that up. We need to have all those people in place, which is going to be a lot of the department heads. They're going to be doing that in the future. And so we'll have a plan in place from now. And of course, the single point of failure of any mission, I found out in the military, is communication. And we got to get better at communicating with each other during these disasters. And the regional emergency manager himself is going to come in and sit down with us for a day and give us training on the day before disaster, what's going through your head and all that, and then preparing the day of and the following weeks after that. Also, announcement here, Gateway Ad District has micro loans for business development. Right now, they got $192,000 left, and their number is 606-780-0090. 606-780-0090. And they do micro business loans. They're going to be trying to get that word out to more people. We got several million loans out right now, but we still got $192,000. And speaking of that, I'll be taking over as chair of that Gateway Ad District in July. Insurance. We applied for insurance for the Little League fields, the horse park, and they came back and denied us. They said that we're in floodplains A and B, and they will not be funding that. The president of the Little League also put in the equipment and stuff that he lost, and they said even if they could fund it, they wouldn't cover that because they have to have their own insurance. So that all got denied. And I got an email sent out. I'll email it out to you guys so you can see it. But they flat out said no to the whole thing. Splash pad, hoping to get the groundbreaking on that going here pretty soon. Right now, next thing we got to do is work out an agreement for water costs with the city, water and sewer costs. So we're going to be meeting with them on the 28th, I think, to work that out. And we're looking for the grand opening, which I'd like to see all of you guys here for that, was on July 4th weekend. If you're in town and you got nothing else to do, we're going to try to, right after we have the Main Street event, the Kiwanis and all that, and then we'll all go up to the Wellness Center and do the grand opening. Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development. I'll be meeting with them on April 30th. They're bringing a team in, and we're going to be traveling around the county looking at places they're bringing their project managers in and their land acquisition people and all that. And they want to tour the county, and we're going to be here for about 4 or 5 hours a day. I'll be spending with them, and so they can just get Morgan County in the books. We're not even in the books or anything. We're not out there. So they're going to get us into their database and try to get all that filled out. Right now we have a state audit, a single audit in progress. So far the auditors have been happy and they found no major findings. Anything else, Sheena, out of that? It's all going pretty smooth, right?
They're just about to finish up, hopefully.
So
everything's going good.
It's looking good right now. The solid waste ordinance that we talked about amending, well, I started looking at that. That thing hasn't been updated so long. There's like 4 or 5 KRSs passed since then. So it's going to take a little bit more work. I think I got it just about fixed. I'm going to send it over to Miles and for him to do his part on it and get all the information as I can together for him so he can look at it and then we can go from there and hopefully bring it to the next meeting. AML grant, abandoned mine land. We put in for that last year. I put it again for it this year. I put in for $2 million again, and that's for a transfer station and a recycling center and to go up there where we talked about before, behind the garage. And I feel a bit better about it this year. I think we got a better chance of it. We got some people backing us on that, and I think that'll go pretty good. So we got a better chance this year because God knows that's the one thing we need more than anything. I also put in for a regional recycling grant. I applied for that. And if we get that passed, all 5 counties in the Gateway Ag District will get a 1.5 ton truck each, a forklift each, a cardboard baler each, aluminum crusher each, and we'll get 5 collection trailers here in the county, put around in the 5 max trail districts. Another announcement, the Bluegrass State table tennis games are this weekend at the Wellness Center. If you get a chance, go up there and check it out. You get some professionals coming in from all over the state, and we've even had people coming in from China and Japan and some other places, Canada, that comes in for this. Roads report is on your thing there. They usually give you a copy of it. So you can see what they've been doing. Also attached to that, I'm going to bring it to your attention. You know, we're going to talk about enterprise later, but they went out and did 2 quotes for Paul Miller, who's a state certified, and those quotes are attached to that 1 quote for 1 truck, which we do have budgeted $100,000 to do that, to purchase that truck with. We budgeted this year for it. So I want you guys to look at that quote, and if you got any questions about any of the road stuff that they've done here.
Ricky, it didn't pull it on there.
It's not on there.
Did it go on
What? The quote, I can
Oh.
find it.
there? It was $87,000 and
Give me just a
several
second.
$100. I didn't know dealers were still doing it, because usually they lose money on it. They don't do state.
Just keeps from having to bid it out.
Keeps us from having to bid it out.
Yeah.
Usually they won't do it because they don't make enough money on it. The state certified, because the price is so low. I was surprised they found it.
Now, they need that bad.
They need
right
it
now.
bad. And, well, when we get to the enterprise part, I'll talk about the enterprise stuff. Do you need a motion tonight, Sheila, to purchase that truck if they're happy with it?
You all can move along, we can come back to that,
All right.
if it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to get it off my.
All right, well, let's move along. Next up is Wellness Center staffing. Is Kathy here? Kathy, you want to come up and get the mic? We got some issues at the Wellness Center with staffing. People we've been talking to, trying to hire, they can't work evenings, they can't work weekends. Because I wanted to start out doing 2 part-times. And we can't get the part-time people, they want us to work their schedule.
I can't work around any more schedules.
Yeah, we can't do that. We've been doing that all. We got a
Either
guy
they
down
gotta
there.
work or they're not.
Yeah. Now you got 1 worker down there. He's the senior part-time person we have in the county right now.
As of May the 1st, we are going to be an emergency.
Because we've had people quit. We've got
Yeah,
people
we've
who
had
quit
2
for illnesses. They found other jobs and they've moved on. That's a transient.
So under emergency.
That's a transient job down there. And most people come in there just like summer jobs. And Thomas has been with us for 3 years. He's always been on call. He's coming anytime Kathy calls.
Yeah.
And he's agreed to sign an 18-month contract too, that he'll stay with us for 18 months at least if we put him full time. Because I don't want to get burned. And his insurance, another thing, him being so young, his insurance is only going to be $5,000 versus $12,000, like for somebody else up there. Us old people. But I'd like to move him up full time if we could. I wouldn't be asking you to do this till July, but because she's running into a situation where there's people leaving right now.
I've got 2 part-time workers that will be on 99 hours.
And we can't work them over 99 hours.
And I've been working Saturdays to kind of help out. But I can't do it anymore. I've got to have some help. So I'm asking tonight that you all approve that part-time be moved up to full-time. And that will leave another part-time, but I have talked to Gateway, and she said that we can get as many workers as I need.
And she's nodding her head back there.
Yes, there you go. To help out, and that will cover weekends and evenings.
Yeah, we have our summer program coming up, and that'll take care of weekends and stuff for her. If you guys know anybody needing a summer job, 18 to 24, please send them to Gateway and see what we can do. But we need businesses to put them at too, so.
But I've been lucky with the workers. I think we only had 2 that didn't work out. But the other ones have really, they worked
Especially
out
Beth.
well.
Beth worked out really well.
And while I'm up here, we all are filling chairs.
I don't know nothing about this. I did not know anything.
Eric made me think of this. Is there any way we can get a bigger dumpster?
Oh, yeah.
Our
That's,
dumpster.
then we called them once before, didn't
Yeah, we tried to get them to service it more often, but they were only coming the one
They
time.
only come
But
on
they'll,
Thursday.
as long as we've got a big enough area that they can fit it in, will it fit there where the other one is?
We can put it down where it used to be, at the end.
The next size up is pretty big. So as long as they've got
So
a big
they'll
enough
have to go
area,
back
they're
to
supposed
where
to
it's
come
at.
out and measure. So as long as they've got a big enough area to put it, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay,
Let
well,
me write
people
myself a
pull
note.
up there and put their trash in it. I mean, there was beer boxes and, people think we sell beer.
Yeah.
I know we don't sell beer. But, we definitely need to, dumpster.
All right.
So that was why I want to know.
Would you guys like us to hold a job fair? Or an open interview day, maybe? We could do that.
Just get with me and we'll take it to law.
All right.
The Gateway workers will cover, and Thomas being full-time, we get 160 hours a month, and God, that hours. The other ones will get 99, so. I can just have that, I won't ask anything else till.
Yeah, right now, Thomas just agreed to work 14 hours straight, didn't he?
Huh?
Thomas agreed to work 14 hours straight.
He's
And we had to
going
go to the Labor Cabinet to make sure we could do that, and they approved it, they said that we could do it.
He's going to do that Saturday.
That's for the table tennis?
Yes, they're going to be there 10.5 hours Saturday.
Well, you guys, you heard her request, she's requesting Mr. Davis to go from part-time to full-time.
And it helped to bring Freddie over for the bowling center.
Yeah.
Because that helped well with that.
Is the bowling, or the wellness center, is it paying its way? I mean, is it still running in the red? I mean, because of utilities
How
plus,
close do we get to
Oh,
breaking
it
even?
will never be.
well, that's what I was thinking, it never did that,
Not with the payroll and, we're trying, as far as like the cost of our food and the concessions, we pretty much break even. We don't try to charge a whole lot because that way it gets people in there with their families. They're able to, go for a fun weekend or evening or something and do the play center and all that. And we just
but
charge
everybody's
barely.
bragging on the food and
Yeah,
stuff.
and we break even just about on that. We do make a little bit, but we just try to keep the prices so low that way they can still afford. As long as it's paying for itself, that's kind of
But that
what we
building will
thought.
pay for itself?
But now, as far as like the payroll, it won't, and the utilities, there's just not enough
What's the
to
average
cover
utilities
that.
on that thing? Monthly?
It's usually, it averages anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 during the winter. It's $5,000 a month at least. I mean, it's an expensive building, but it's a great place for families to come and enjoy but as long as you're a Morgan County resident, you can come there and work out for free. So that's,
I didn't know, I hadn't
Yeah.
heard if it's
It's
making it, I mean, if it's,
we're doing really well on the concessions. We've had a lot of bowling right now, a lot of school trips. The schools, every day there's been kids. Yeah, they've really enjoyed that. The bowling's picking up, the play
So that
center.
place was packed this morning with kids.
The last 2 days.
They're having party
no bypass,
packages,
Until
every weekend.
June, just about every day of the week.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
well
being
used.
utilized.
And I'll be meeting next week with the group that's gonna come in and fix the, it was in my judge's bar. I forgot 2 things I forgot. They're gonna come in and I'm gonna try to take it out of the health department money and get those goals fixed, get 2 motorized goals like I was talking to Eric about, and get that gym stuff all blocked off so we can have a kids space upstairs too. And, also get a golf simulator. Go out and buy one, we can get one of those for, what was it, $12,000, I think. And you can get that in there and get the dart, and we'll get one of that, and then on the other side of that, because there's 2 rooms in there for a golf simulator. So we put the golf simulator on one side, and the other side, they've been asking for dart tournaments. So, yeah, I know, I blew me away too. They want to do darts. So, well, darts is cheap. We can buy some dart boards and some darts and put something up there on the wall to keep the wall from getting chipped up. The other thing I didn't mention, the judge's report to Lansing Park. We're going to gravel that. I think they might have done that today. I don't know if they're going to fix the potholes in and get that. We got a new flagpole, and I'm getting with the Division of Water to work on that. What we can do down there for all that's road. It's almost coming. That creek's almost coming up into the park.
So we need a motion for,
Yeah, we need a motion for her on that.
I'll make a motion that we move.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve the move Wellness Center employee Thomas Davis from part-time to full-time. Questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
May first.
Motion carries. Let's start on May 1st.
Thank you all.
Okay.
We have the quote now, but Vicky's getting it uploaded to the portal. I apologize for that.
We discussed this last week. We gave Miles, coming up on number 9, we gave Miles permission to start verbally discussing the jail bill issue with the inmate housing at Kentucky State Reformatory. We need to go ahead and make that official this month and give him approval for the county attorney to negotiate for a lower inmate housing fee.
Make a motion that we approve the county attorney to negotiate inmate housing fee.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, approval for the county attorney Miles Holbrook to negotiate for a lower inmate housing fee. Any questions, discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
While we're on this, let's do the one about the breathing air systems too, where we pay for the thing and then now they're trying to charge us for the installation. If y'all can give me permission to talk to them, then I can see what we can do about that as well.
Who was that?
Breathing air systems, Donnie knows a little bit
Yeah.
about it.
When y'all gave the fire departments all this money to purchase stuff, we purchased a thing to fill your SCBA tanks up with. Okay, and they gave y'all a quote. Well, when they brought it in, they showed us everything, and then we get another bill for $4,000.
$3,000-$4,000, yeah.
For each fire department?
It's 172.
172?
Because
Okay.
yeah, because they sent somebody down and showed us how to use it.
Yeah.
They charge for that and then charge shipping. And but when they give you all the quote and y'all
They
paid it,
didn't put on that.
it was put on the thing.
All right, okay, let's go ahead and I'll entertain a motion for that. Approve county attorney Miles Holbrook to negotiate for a lower, for 172.
Yeah, that's what I
You
was
can't do it, you're on
172 for
I'll make that motion too.
You're gonna say. So we have a motion on the floor. That wasn't in there, Vicky, so you have to put that in there. We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second. Approval for county attorney Miles Holbrook to negotiate for a lower price for the, what's that thing called?
breathing air.
Breathing air
Breathing air
apparatus,
systems.
breathing air systems, for, fire department 172.
And when we got that, I mean, if anybody else that don't have one, if they need to fill their tanks, they can come over there and we can fill their tanks.
You can fill their tanks.
Yeah.
That works great. Anything else, Miles? On that?
No,
All
just get me, if you can get me that contract where we actually got it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it might be in there that they have to do that for free. Well, I just need to take a look at that contract.
We'll get that. All right. Next, Senate Bill 63, Laura Pack, I believe you're gonna present this, you and Miles?
We are.
All right, let's bring it up.
Yes. I just stood up and ate my leg. I don't know if you all, I know the judge is very well aware, and Miles is very well aware, that our very capable legislators this winter session were able to get through legislation called Senate Bill 63. And for myself and Morgan County and the other counties that are part of the First Frontier Appalachian Trail System, this is monumental legislation in that it eliminates us trying to figure out how side-by-sides can be on the roadways in between businesses and commerce and camping and trails and all of the places that they need to be to encourage adventure tourist folks to come here and ride trails and spend their money in the restaurants and the lodgings and things like that. Senate Bill 63 passed nearly unanimously in both the Senate and the House, with only 2 not approving in the Senate and only 2 not approving in the House. So it was overwhelmingly passed. It allows for side-by-sides to be registered and with proper equipment. They have to have their turn signals, they have to have a roll cage, it has to be operated by a licensed driver, it has to be insured. So with all those things in place, they can go to the county that they live in and get a registration for $10 a year.
And the clerk gets $6 of that.
The clerk gets 6 of those $10, stay in your clerk's office.
Yeah.
The sheriff's department gets $25 to inspect the vehicle before they take it to the sheriff's office. So it's much like a motorcycle inspection.
Greg was happy with that.
Right, it'll be on the same form. There's another source of revenue. So it's kind of win-win for everybody.
Now, we're required by law to adopt this, right?
Yes, sir.
So
And
this
that
is
is a locality adoption that did not include cities, that included local governments, counties to adopt. You can adopt by resolution, you can adopt by ordinance. Some have done resolutions, some are doing ordinances. It's my understanding that Miles has prepared the first reading of the ordinance for Morgan County to adopt Senate Bill 63. Anyone have any questions? Because Lord knows I've got some answers on this one.
So if you don't have the turn signals or don't have it registered, if you get caught, say if I drove out of my holler to the store to get gas, I could get ticketed for
Yes, you would get ticketed for not having a registration.
and for not having insurance on it.
For not having insurance and registration.
It don't cover farm use, does it?
I'm sorry, farm use is still separate.
Yeah.
And the legislation that was in place for farm use for vehicles still applies, which was only 0.2 of a mile is what farm use allows.
So you still got farm use.
Yeah, you still have farm use. This legislation is for allowing for commerce for the trail systems. The trail systems are not one big length of trail that runs from our most northern county, which is Lawrence, to our most southern county. They are sections of trails that you have to get on the roadways to get to the next section or get to the next town. I probably sound like a broken record when I tell you all this, but more than just being an adventure system, this is an economic development plan meant to provide smaller communities with a source of adventure tourism revenues. So getting the people off the trail and getting them to stores, to cabins, to repair shops, to sales of units, getting them to those places, that's the real goal. The real goal is to have them bring their vacation dollars to Morgan County and spend a week here and spend that vacation money. That's the goal. So if we can't get them to those places previously, the judge has been just wonderful, and you all have been just wonderful with working with the TC 59 and adopting the road ordinances and trying to get the state routes. But it was really very labor intensive and most times not successful for one reason or another. We couldn't get sections of roads.
That made it hard on the sheriff's office too, trying to figure out who they could pull over.
Who do we pull over, who do we not pull over?
Yeah, and this
So,
kind of classifies that and ends it, so that.
Yeah, this eliminates all of that fuss.
So the chief deputy can go out and he can
It's
form his duty a
optional.
little bit more easily.
Yeah, it's optional. If you are a side-by-side owner and you opt not to register it, that's fine. Don't register it, but if you're going to travel farther than what farm use allows, you may encounter problems. I can't imagine anyone in our rural areas that $10 a year to prevent any kind of hassle would be, problematic. It gives folks a lot of options. You don't have to do it. You can do it. It certainly allows for tourists to come here and have a better experience.
Okay, if the tourists come, say from Ohio, and, they don't know that they gotta have insurance on that side by side?
Ohio has registration. So when people travel here from Ohio, their
Well, I mean,
vehicles.
it's like any other
yeah.
state. I mean, you know, they
Another
don't
state
know.
that doesn't have reciprocation with Kentucky, they have to buy a trail permit to be on the trails, or the trails that we have legitimized. They have to buy a permit. So when they come to purchase that permit, whether they purchase online or they purchase it with one of our local vendors, there's a waiver to fill out, and there's an information form that says, in the state of Kentucky, if you travel on the roadways, you must be insured and registered. We're gonna provide information sheets so that they can easily go and do that. Our permit prices are terribly low, because it's not the goal to sell permits and make a fortune. The goal is to encourage
Get
economic
them out
growth.
here for economic development.
So they come here from out of state, they pay $40 for an annual permit. Pretty low. That's a fairly low cost. And it costs them $25 in the sheriff's office and $10 to register a vehicle. It's still not a huge expense. It's still, very doable. And we've got an online permit process that is launching this Sunday, which takes one of those steps out. So they'll be ready, they'll have their permit, they'll have their information sheet, they'll know which county they're vacationing in or staying in, what the laws of that county are with regard to the ordinance and the adoption, and how the steps they need to go about getting things done. So like I say, the clerk's office keeps $6 out of the 10. The sheriff's office gains $25. All of your local folks that do repair services can make the money on the installation kits. And Judge and I have talked about that. That's something that has to be done before they go to the sheriff. They have to get turn signals installed and all of
We've
that.
already got one that's up to work now.
We already have one here in Morgan County that's prepared to do that, and two that are just across the county line. So, and that's not a huge expense.
I got a 23 Honda, and it don't have turn signals.
I bought put them on mine.
Yeah. It's not a huge expense to do that. It's a pretty simple. If you got whips on it. So anybody's got whips, who's the riders here? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The whips is those two lights on the back that you run your stereo through, so the beats go through the
We're
lights.
talking that fancy stuff.
I'm talking that fancy stuff.
Tommy's got that on his.
That's what he's got. Yeah. So if you've got whips on the back of it, you could, in less than 5 minutes, have turn signals. It's a really simple process, and what it is eliminating is a really gruesome process that is a deterrent to us making this go. If this legislation is night and day to the work involved in trying to do a TC 59 and get approval for small sections of highway through the state. It was a very laborious thing to do. And now it's going to be extremely simple, and everybody gets to make a little money off of it. Any other questions? I don't mind a bit to answer.
I'm just going to clarify a couple things. It might be mandatory we vote on it. It's not mandatory, of course, that we pass it. We can vote on it or against it. But it kind of helps it if you think of it in a way that this takes nothing away at all from four-wheelers or off-road vehicles or whatever. This just allows an avenue for them to have road access. Okay, so but in order to do that, it's like a privilege. Any person that drives on the road, your vehicle has to be roadworthy, and you have to know the rules of the road and be able to show when you're turning and all that kind of stuff. So it's not taking away anything. It's just saying, hey, if you got one of these four-wheelers that complies with this new law, then you can use those for up to like 20 miles or
Up
something?
to 20 miles of a legitimized trail section.
Yeah.
And in our area, that's very easy to do. We're adopting trail systems and sections of trail systems daily. So the distance constraint is not really constrained at all. And I would add about the insurance. So, my husband and I, our side by side is insured. We have turn signals. We insured it, just the way that it's gonna be registered through the sheriff's office, which is similar to a motorcycle registration. Our insurance is $49 a month. It's a relatively inexpensive thing to be able to operate wherever you need to. The turn signal kit was less than $100.
And I found out new that we have a guy moved in from North Carolina, and he does off-road recovery. He's got the equipment,
It's great business.
he's got the boom and everything.
And that's part of the whole economic development plan. Cabins, food, accessories, off-road recovery, repair shops. We had a gang in from Iowa, and they were on Morgan County trails this past week. I'm happy to share with you, they drove 10.5 hours to ride Sand Lick. So, I just want y'all to know that.
Oh, that's cool.
They report having a wonderful time.
All right.
During their stay, there were 12 couples, and during their stay, several $1,000s was put into our economy just so they could ride Sand Lick.
You know
Just
how
the
many
guy.
people's gonna go on that trail that's not legal, and what do you do there?
So
I
we
mean,
have,
because you can get on them trails anywhere.
you can. First Frontier, as an organization, which Morgan County is a part of that organization, across eastern Kentucky, we have an MOA agreement with Fish and Wildlife. They provide officers to patrol our trails. That's to curtail nonsense, excessive drinking, trash dumping, unsafe activities. We're not trying to build a money bar. We're trying to build a tourist attraction, a family destination. So we have proper law enforcement to check for permits and check that the drivers are not too inebriated to be.
So can you be charged with DUI on one of those if they are drinking on that?
If you're on the trail, you could be charged, but here's the thing. If you have created enough of an unsafe situation that an officer had to stop you, that's, we're all grown adults. We know what we do and can't do and how much we can do and not do. And most of us are very conscious about the safety of others, and especially the safety of other families. And we're not going to create situations where we're going to be an attractant for an officer to want to stop us. Mostly those officers are there to provide a safe environment. And they are really fired up about trash dumping. So that makes me extremely happy because I get tired of fighting that battle.
Yeah. Now, I understand, is there a plan to have a rally in May?
We had a rally that was in the works for May throughout Wrigley, and we've had to push that back. But we are planning an opening ride for Morgan County to roll out Senate Bill 63, which becomes active law July 1. And that will be Sand Lick and Bowling Ridge. Rally on the Ridge.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Done that many
What's
times.
the plan on Bowling Ridge? Come all the way out?
To War Creek. Yeah.
That's where I live.
Yay for you!
No.
That's good. No, that's good.
You'll pass the coroner's house too. I don't know if
That's great. You passing the coroner's house. Nobody will be dated.
Let's hope.
No, it's exciting times. We have a member of our Trailtown team, George Bellinger, who is a Maryland transplant, came happening around Paintsville Lake, the upper end of Paintsville
Yeah, I was going to
Lake.
ask you about him. Is he still planning to put that camp in?
It's actively being built.
It's actively being built. All right.
And he and his wife, as they raise their granddaughter, will be full-time Kentucky residents as of May 1. So we'll bring them to the next meeting and introduce the family, because not only did they find a place in that neck of the woods that they just fell in love with, they are active community members looking to invest and improve the community they're going to live in. It's exciting. You're building cabins. It's very exciting.
He's the one I met at Judge McKenzie's, what he was doing. All right.
Yep. Great guy, super
Yeah,
good
very
family.
good guy.
Super nice family. They baptized their granddaughter there in the lake just half a mile from the property, and they were pretty tickled about that. They said, well, it's home now.
All right. Okay, what do you require us to do?
I think you just have the reading.
So I just have first reading.
Yeah.
Who reads it?
Well, you're gonna vote on it next month.
So do we have to actually read it right now?
No, it's just like every other ordinance. You all can take a look at
It's
it.
attached on your.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing?
It's not on.
It's not.
It's on Senate Bill 63.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Well,
This thing's acting crazy.
it's on mine.
It's gonna be a while.
Be honest.
We're not halfway through.
Oh, you can call me.
Yeah. That's what I was figuring. So,
Does anyone else have any questions? Because I certainly don't want anyone to feel like you had a question you want to know about. We have a First Frontier Facebook page. I manage that page, and I wear myself out posting things to keep people aware of what's going on.
Yes, it's on.
If you haven't been on the page and like the page yet, jump on there because it's a really good way to stay informed with what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, here.
And the judge has my phone number, and it's no secret. It's absolutely no secret. My number's no secret. He will provide it to anyone that wants it, and I'm happy to accept your call and talk to you about anything you want to talk about. If you've got property on Bowling Ridge, I really want you to call me. And if you have property anywhere over around Redmond, call me. I'm working on something over there too. Judge, do you require anything else of me?
No,
Is it informal for me to come hug your neck before I leave?
do what?
Can I come hug your neck before I leave?
Okay. We're gonna do this
I'll
on
just
TV.
pat Miles. I'll pat him.
It's good seeing you.
It's good seeing you. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling much better.
You take care of yourself. We'll talk soon.
Okay. So we,
So that'll just have to be acknowledged in the minutes,
Yeah.
the first reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
can we copy that and email it to all these guys so we can have a copy of it?
Well, it was on the
There's a
portal,
copy, but,
Well,
yeah.
we'll put it on the portal.
and
well, it's
we'll,
on there, but for some reason it's not showing up. It's on my side, but
All right.
we will send out the email, or Vicky
yeah,
will,
I can
because she'll
start
send it to you, that way you can read
Okay.
through it and all that. Vicky did get the, quote from Paul Miller put
It's
on
it's
there.
back up on the judge's
It's on
report.
number 7,
You must be to download it. We'll let
and
it-
just push view, is it say view or download?
It wiped me out.
there we go.
Click on it and it'll say view or download. Let's see.
87, 844.
All right, if you hit view,
If you hit view,
Okay.
and then
yeah, no hit download.
yeah, hit view. If you hit download, it'll take you off the screen. The road department, Anthony Peck had got this quote. As you can see, it's for a 2025 Ford F-350 XL regular cab four-wheel drive, 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8 diesel engine. The original cost of the unit is $70,150, and then if you'll go on down, total equipment and install is the $16,995, and with all of that, the total is $87,844.
And we can use the insurance money from the truck that we lost to buy the
I think
salt spreader.
they said this morning that 87,000 is the price of bed and all,
Bed and all.
not the snowplow, but it's got the snowplow.
Does that include the salt
It's
spreader?
ready for it.
The V-box?
No, just a dump bed.
Just dump bed.
And,
But we can use the insurance money
and
for
they
the other.
could get, talk like they could probably have the bed
Was
put on
the
in a
plow
month.
salvageable from the other one?
I don't know what all salvageable it brought, but
That plow should be salvageable.
if it's,
Yeah, I think they told me, I think Anthony told me it was salvageable. So the V-box broke, so all we gotta do, we can use the insurance money from the truck to buy the V-box. Cause they said they wanted to get a plastic one instead of a.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
but Paul Miller said that they would have the bed put on it. They could probably have that done in about a month.
A month?
And it's prepped for the snowplow. plug-ins and everything, so.
Their, state contract numbers at the top right too.
What do you guys think?
They need a truck bad,
Yeah, they're down 2, right?
actually 3,
3? Wow, I don't know.
because
There's one caught on fire.
Nathan's having to use one.
Oh, yeah, for the prisoners.
And one caught on fire, the fuse, everything, the dash and everything burned out of it. They went out there, hooked the battery back up to it, and they said it was like a Christmas tree in there, so they just unhooked it again.
Are we gonna sell some of that stuff off this summer?
We're gonna have another sale.
We did have an auction to get rid of some
That's
stuff.
all that's lined up there.
Yeah, we're getting ready to have another surplus sale.
We have just requested that all the departments make a list of surplus property. We'll bring it to y'all probably next meeting and get y'all to go through it and look and see what, if you think that we wanna try to auction that off. Maybe we can schedule an auction. Around what time do y'all think? Maybe 1st of September, or do you think maybe right during the summer? I think we done the last one in September, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
This is
Or
possible.
October, September, October. Or we can do it in July, whenever you all wanna do it.
Might do it next spring, when people get their tax come back.
There you go. So,
They are working on the list.
the lot have been full.
They are working on a list to bring to you all, for approval to declare it surplus.
okay,
And then you guys,
we'll do that next month?
yes.
All right, okay. So right now, I'll entertain a motion on whether to buy this truck or not.
I'll make a motion, we buy this truck for the road department,
All right.
Paul Miller.
For $87,844,000.
I'll second it.
We have a motion on the floor that's been properly seconded to purchase this truck for the roads department from Paul Miller Ford for $87,844. Any questions or discussion?
So there was $100,000 budgeted for this, so we're just gonna pay it out.
It's already budgeted for it.
Yeah, it's in the road fund. We have it budgeted for this year
So
for
I thought it was
100,000.
120.
I think
No, it was 120 for what we got each.
The insurance from that other truck.
yeah, that is right, because
Yeah.
we got 20,000 back from the
We got
insurance, so that
20,000 back
should
from
buy
insurance.
the salt. B-box
It should
spreader.
finish everything.
Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, where do we leave on that? Senate Bill 11. Sheena,
Okay.
item 11.
Sorry, let me get back to where I was at. Okay. All right, this is item 11. It's fiscal year 26 LGEA and CRA proposed use hearing. DLG requires each fiscal court and county to do a proposed use hearing. I guess we will officially declare this meeting the start of our use hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to ask for comments from citizens regarding the LGEA and CRA funds use. And you can ask for any comments. We didn't have anything come into the office, correct, Vicki?
Nothing.
Vicki?
I'm sorry, what?
We never had any kind of letters or any comments or anyone come into the office since it was
Well,
advertised in the
No,
paper.
All right. Okay. We did our due diligence.
If there's no comments
No
or,
comments from the audience? All right, there being none.
there being none, that would conclude the hearing. We'll be
Motion
working
notice.
on, I
That was
know,
it?
it
All
was
right.
just a standard annual procedure that we have to do
All right.
each year for DLG.
We did it. This we go on to review of Wex and Elon.
Okay, number 12.
Mm-hmm.
This, of course, we do each meeting. This is to ratify our prior period expenditures for the WEX, which is our fuel cards. I think it's actually the third attachment there. If you all want to view that, that's in detail of each one of our fuel cards, and it shows and identifies each one of those by employee and department. We have also attached the fuel log that Vicky does on there. And the next one, I guess that's the first attachment, was the Elon credit card bill. And of course, all of those are itemized on there for you all to view as well. We'll just need to ratify those prior period expenditures. If you have any questions, just let me know.
I'll make a motion to ratify prior period expenditures for Wex and Elon Financial Services.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor has been properly second to ratify prior period expenditures for Wex and Elon Financial Services. Questions, discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Road Department CDL. Tommy, I believe we made a deal with the road department for Scott Patrick, Shannon Bowman, and Sean Ratliff that after completing their CDLs and then completing 18 months of non-compete agreement, that we would give them a raise.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we need to do that tonight. Sheena, what's the details of that, money-wise?
If from the time period that they actually signed the non-compete agreement, we looked and it was April of 23. So if you go 18 months after they completed that, we had figured back to January the 1st of 2025. If you go back and give the dollar raise on the hours that they worked, $1.50 for the overtime hours they worked, and $1 for their, of course, benefit hours that they accumulated. It's a total of $2,205.40 total for all three. I have a breakdown here for you all to view, but that would just be to get it back to the time period when the actual non-compete agreement was completed. Correct, Vicki, on that timing? That's correct on the time.
Do we need a motion?
There's 3 pages. I broke it down by individual employee. The totals on the top. Yeah, top left hand. Their total for them is on the bottom. And what it totally cost the county.
And we'll need a motion to approve the raise and the back pay.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
make a
for
motion.
the back pay.
Approve the raise and the back pay for the 3 CDL drivers at the road department.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor has been properly seconded to approve the raise and the back pay for the 3 CDL operators, Scott Patrick, Shannon Bowman, and Sean Ratliff at the roads department. Questions, discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. County Road Aid.
Okay, this is a standard agreement that we do each year, and we're very thankful for it. This is the Morgan County Road Aid Cooperative Program Agreement for fiscal year 2026. We have the attachment there for you all to view. The first part of it is the actual program agreement. If you can, as you scroll on down, you can see that the amount will be $1,420,931.54 over the fiscal year period. It just shows a breakdown of the first, second, and final distribution of that funding. It also gives you a breakdown of the program. If you scroll on, you will also see that the page 7, there is the resolution. This is Fiscal Court of Morgan County resolution adopting and approving the execution of a county road aid co-op program contract between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025, as provided in the KRS, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. That's the resolution there, and we would just need approval on that and to submit it to DLG and also the Department of Transportation and all the other departments as well. But we will receive that funding upon this agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the FY 26 county road aid resolution as presented.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the fiscal year 26 county road aid resolution as presented. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Mediation payment.
I can kind of
All right.
tell about this if you
All
want
right,
me to.
yeah, please.
If you all remember, we had the settlement, and for the wellness center, the masonry settlement, we had originally submitted a mediation bill for Landrum and Schauss's full mediation fees regarding the masonry builders of Kentucky with the Public Properties 1 settlement. A letter of explanation from our attorney is attached. We were only responsible for half of the amount which Mr. O'Connor paid our liability in advance, so he requires reimbursement for $727.50, which is one half of the total. It was just not included in the original invoice, but the original check to Landrum and Schauss that we sent to Mr. O'Connor in the amount of $1,455, which was approved by the court, was returned to us by Mr. O'Connor. So now we are just needing approval for the mediation fee on this invoice to Steve O'Connor for $727.50 for his advance payment for the Real Properties 1 share of Landrum and Schauss's mediation fee. That was a lot, but that's all in a nutshell there. A lot of talking. But no, that's all we need is just it's just half of what was previously approved.
He forgot to include that on his bill.
Yes.
So he put that Landrum and Schauss invoice in the packet to support his invoice, and then he forgot to put it on his invoice that he paid it, and we needed to reimburse it.
Yeah, so it's just,
I make a motion we reimburse Steve O'Connor for $727.50 for all the stuff you said.
I know, that's too
I can't
much.
talk about
I know
Did
it.
you?
I'll say.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second, to approve the reimbursement of Attorney Steve O'Connor for $727.50 for his advance payment of Real Properties of 1 share of Landrum and Schauss's mediation fee. Questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll get that taken care of tomorrow.
All right, Sheena, Kate?
Okay, we are just needing approval to administer the CAPE funds. This, of course, is what we call our ag grant. We would like to, for you all to open up the first attachment, and I'll kind of go over it with you. The 2024, we received $180,577, less the 5% admin fee, which goes to the county. We had several farmers that had sent in the ag grant. We were able to have 91 producers funded with this grant throughout Morgan County. We only had an unused balance and will only be returning $277.06. Vanessa Elam works with this, and she does a really good job getting all of these funds out to the farmers and with this program. And we would just like to participate in that again for 2025. And the next attachment is the application, which she'll be taking tomorrow pending court approval. She's going to hand deliver it. And we just need to authorize the County Judge Executive, Jim Gazay, to sign all necessary documents for the CAPE grants and pay the claims as presented, and to return unused 2024 funds of $277.06 to the Kentucky State Treasurer. it's a great program that helps a lot of Morgan County farmers.
I make a motion, we authorize County Judge Executive Jim Guzay to sign all necessary documents for the CAP grant and pay claims as presented and return unused 2024 funds of $277.60 to the Kentucky State Treasurer.
No.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been properly seconded. Now it's my turn. To authorize Judge Executive Jim Guzay to sign all necessary documents for the CAPE grant and pay claims as presented and return unused 2024 funds of $277.06 to the Kentucky State Treasurer. Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Motion carries. Digital Pulse Media. If you ever sit in a restaurant in Moorhead and you've seen that digital display up there where they advertise for all the other businesses in the Moorhead area, we now have that in West Liberty. And we have the young man, he's still actually in high school, it's their sales agent down here. And so far he's got, he's going to put one in Kyle's, the mayor's building. He's coming and approached us about putting one in the Wellness Center. It don't cost us nothing. In fact, we get free advertising for like 5 seconds or something. We put stuff on there ourselves, and if we decided to advertise, we get it for half price of being the host. So usually instead of $175, it's $85. So it's really not nothing out. We're helping a young man still in high school start a business, and I think it's a good way to get information out around the county as we get more of these around here, and especially businesses will start growing. But he's going to the Mexican restaurant next to ask them, but so far we're the third one. I know Kyle's got one, I don't know who the other one is. So I'm just asking for permission to go ahead and sign this agreement with him. And
I'll make a motion and we do an approval for the Digital Pulse Media option.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, let me just interrupt. Let's say option one. I didn't complete all that. I just now was typing it in because I didn't know for sure which one you all wanted to do. So option one is the free one.
Yeah, I'd say we go with the free first.
the other free one.
So it's option one.
Option one. It's been seconded. So we have a motion on the floor, proper second for the approval of Digital Pulse Media option one. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Sorghum Festival. We had a meeting today with Sorghum Festival Committee. They're struggling to find festival funds, and so they come to us to help, asking us for help, specifically on their insurance, which is $4,000. We had $1,000 in the outreach, and we've been able to find $500 here or $100 there, and come up with a total of $4,000 to help them out. And I think we should really do this. Our only obligations we have to them is we take the trailers down there, the food trailers, and we do that, and we do help with other things and the inmates, but other than that, we have no skin in that game. So I thought we could go ahead and do this year, and then next year we can start budgeting something a little bit more to help them out with that. I also like to they were under the pressure when they came to us that we had a tourism commission, and we do not. We're in a project in progress on that. We are not collecting taxes or anything, as you guys all know. If we were collecting taxes, we'd all know that and be happy right now on that, if transient taxes. But we are not anywhere near that right now. We're probably about 60% through the progress of getting the tourism thing established to get way at. So we've got the website, we've got the brochures, we got to do the ordinance, and they have some work they got to do with Kentucky tourism. But right now, what we can help them out is with this $4,000 that'll cover their insurance for the event.
Does this cover the total cost of their insurance?
Total cost $4,000.
She said it was something that would be due, like a meet soon.
Yeah,
Right.
They've got a deadline.
Yeah, they've got a deadline
Yeah.
and they don't have the funding right now to be able to.
And yeah,
pay that, so we.
The tourism, West Liberty Tourism table it till their next meeting. So they're usually the one that gives them the biggest part of that money, but they were under the impression that we were collecting, and we had a tourism department.
They got plenty of money.
Well, they're gonna go back to them, actually, come to us now and find out the truth that we don't have that money. And they're actually needing $45,000.
That's what they asked for,
We
was
ain't got that.
45,000.
55,000.
Yeah, they're
45,000.
For
Yeah.
insurance?
No,
No,
this
no, no.
was
Oh, that's what I'm
funding for the
no,
festival.
for the festival. That's what they need to start operations, 45,000. If we can help them out with the insurance this year, we can start looking at trying to budget some help for them in the next in the 26 budget, 25, 26 budget.
Seemed like, what did they say they spent, 188,000?
160, they told us.
It was yeah.
I think they have to buy all new tents or something this year.
That's another problem they're having. They won't, the guy that usually does the tents out of Chillicothe was refusing to cooperate with him. And so I'm gonna try to call him up and see if I can talk to him. We may have to go to Defense Reutilization and buy some old army tents. And they said they'd take them. I said it'd be olive drive. But we do have the 4,000. She's gonna piece that together.
We have 1,000 from the community outreach, and we have a couple of other funds that we know. Vicki and I sat down today and went through it, and there won't be any more appropriations that's gonna have to come out of those line items. And we figured it up, and they told us that they estimated their insurance would be right at 4,000. And if we can take those funds that have their free and unencumbered balances and put it over, that we can possibly come up with their $4,000 pending the court's approval to do that.
So when do they need this by?
As soon as
As soon
possible.
as possible. I mean, if we approve it tonight, we'll probably be cutting the check tomorrow.
I mean, they initially was needing 45,000. I think they've still got to secure a tent possibly. And we are gonna look into them, for them, possibly the dumpsters. I think they said that was around, I'm gonna call and see if we can get pricing on the dumpsters, maybe a little bit cheaper. But they're just, their main concern right now is their insurance and the timeline that it's due.
I'll make a motion to expend funds for the Sword Festival insurance for $4,000.
I'll say,
Motion on the floor, properly seconded, approved to expend funds for the Sorghum Festival's insurance, estimated to be $4,000. Questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
I've got a question. This is totally off the topic, but someone asked me, and it goes along with festivals and everything. And Donnie, you're still on the fire board, ain't you?
Fair board.
Yeah. Someone asked me if we could help talk to the fire board about trying to get the actual fire back in Morgan County to bring it back.
We can talk to them. Yeah, we can talk to them about it. I've talked to them about it before, and they.
I don't know, they have some things planned, but.
Yeah, there's some new stuff that they got coming up. I don't know what it is, but I know three of the Quanians that was in the Quanians Club are on that board too. And
Yeah.
I talk to them all the time. They said it's not the fair board, it's the company. They refuse to come.
They refuse to come because they say they don't get enough money, and then the fire board has to pay them big money whether anybody shows up or not, and that's the thing.
Well, we can bring it up to them again. And supposedly they got some other stuff coming up. We can find out about it and look into it. Any other questions on that topic? All right, next up is the Local Economy Lab Grant. Ricky Pennington's going to make a presentation for us. Ricky, you're up, brother.
Thank you. paperwork passed around there, just a little information I've shared with a couple of you. But the JPF is a organization that is called Just Transition Fund. They're trying to help local co-communities with economic development. As you can see from some of the paperwork there, they just opened this grant up about a week and a half ago. The grant funds is from $250,000 to $500,000. The plan is to grant anywhere from 5 to 10 grants out of this. So the counties that are eligible for this, Morgan County wasn't initially in that group. I reached out to them last week to have a discussion about that. So we are a co-community, that we are impacted by the loss of home jobs. They have agreed to include Morgan County in the grant eligible locations. So as you can see from the map, if you go on page 3 or 4, I can't remember which one it is, you'll see that Johnson, McGoffin, several counties in Kentucky are eligible for this grant, and they agreed to do adjacent, which includes Morgan County. So this grant is economic development. They can use it for several different things. One thing that economic development, thing that I heard earlier there, talking about the RTVs, the trails and stuff. So if you got a wish list, let me know if we can apply for it. We can try to come up with some ideas, and they'll help us. The $250,000 to $500,000 that you apply for, you can use that funding to go after bigger pots of money as well. So I have worked with this group before for some other grants. They streamline their approach. I'm sure you guys know how grants are. There's a lot of paperwork involved with it. This is probably the best group that I have ever worked with that streamlines this. One of the requirements is it's got to be a 501c3 nonprofit. So local governments, it's got to be applied through the Morgan County Fiscal Court to get this grant funded. So what I'm here tonight for, and another aspect is this is due May 9th, so quick turnaround. So there's not a lot of time to get everything lined up. So I guess my request tonight is a vote and approval for the Morgan County Fiscal Court to apply for this grant, and possibly create a little subcommittee to come up with some ideas that we can put in the narrative that we want to use these funds for economic development for the county. But this is a great group to work with. I've enjoyed working with them in the past, and they're really receptive to work with. So any questions that I can try to answer for anybody, just let me know.
You're gonna do the paperwork?
I will do the majority of it, but I will need some information from the court
Yeah.
to apply for this. I will do the majority of the work.
All right. You do that?
But it has to be applied for by
May 9th.
Morgan County Fiscal
So
Court.
we're gonna do this, we have to get on it.
Yes.
I think it's worth a shot.
Me too.
You know what we got to lose.
Exactly.
They'll tell Ricky no.
Like that free money.
Do you have any more copies of what you gave?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Thanks.
All right, how do you want to word this motion? What's this called, the local economy lab through JTF,
Yep.
Just Transition Funds?
Correct.
So the motion be approved, for the Morgan County Fiscal Court to approve funds through,
To apply.
grant, to apply for grant funds through Just Transition Funds, local economy lab.
Yes.
You got a motion on that? Whatever I said?
Yeah, I make a motion that we let Ricky Pennington,
Yeah.
apply for, on behalf of the Morgan County Fiscal Court, apply for grant funding from the JTC, something.
You catching all that, Ricky?
I'm getting it from the paper.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second. Ricky Pennington to apply for grants, to the Just Transition Funds for the local economy lab. And, we'll form a committee after that too, so, who would like to volunteer to be on the committee?
Eric
I'll step up. Eric, me and
Eric and
Eric,
Brandon.
What?
Eric and Brandon?
We got
All right,
all the total.
we got 3 of us.
We did, didn't we?
That'll work.
All right,
All right.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Who seconded that?
Thank you.
Thanks, Ricky.
Get up with me and we'll start working
We'll
on it.
get up with you.
All right.
Just remember, you're the chair, you gotta call us together. All right, what's next? Worldwide equipment purchase. Sheena, you're up again.
Okay. As you all know, back in, I think it was at the first of the year, we presented to the court the paperwork and quote on a purchase agreement to do another 2026 Kenworth tandem truck for the road department. Of course, that was approved, and we're going to do the financing through KCO and sell it at auction like we have done in previous years and like we are now. I was contacted by Scott, the sales representative through Worldwide Equipment. He had sent me an email and also given me a call that there has been a tariff now on the Kenworth truck that has been sent to Worldwide that will follow with the truck. There is a time frame that I have included all the attachment on the whole email about the tariff surcharge. If you all want to read through that, that's just explaining everything on there. We would also need to have a new purchase agreement signed with them. The tariff amount was $3,000. Scott explained that they would do a 50-50. It will only cost us $1,500 more. Worldwide would, I guess, step up and pay the other $1,500, but it would be just $3,000. That would make the new total for the truck $183,000 instead of the $100. Vicky, it did not pick that up. I don't know what's wrong with this system today. But there is a new purchase agreement for the Kenworth tandem truck.
So they're gonna eat basically half of it,
Yes.
and we eat the other half? And
Yes,
that's because
but
of
you
the
won't lose your
tariffs.
place in line on
Yeah,
on making the truck, because you all had approved to take the 2024 Kenworth to auction in September. So in order for us to get that truck before we take that one to auction, we would need to try to keep our place in line, and it would just be the difference of $1,500 additional on the new purchase agreement, which I'm going to get to you all. We can revisit that one. For some reason, it did not pick up.
I had some on mine, the tariff agreement,
Yes, but there's a new purchase agreement and it didn't attach.
so we'll have to come back and do that next month?
Well, no, just shortly.
Oh, shortly, all
Just
right.
in a
I was
few
about to
minutes.
say,
No, let me get
let's
that.
move on, we'll move on to the enterprise
Yes.
agreement.
For some reason, it just
All
didn't
right.
pick some stuff up.
The enterprise company, to do this assessment, they're asking for a non-binding approval of the court to just go in so they can talk to you guys, the magistrates, the department heads at the road department and all that. And it's non-binding, so it just allows them gives them the initiative to go ahead and make those calls, and they're not wasting their time. And to move forward with that fleet management system for the, like sheriff's office, the coroner's office, jailers, and roads department, and all the other departments, we need to at least look at it and go through the process and see what they can give us. It is non-binding. And there's still more questions that I have for that program too, as well. So we got to go through the process. So right now, what we need is for them to start that and being able to talk to everybody. We need approval to enter into a non-binding master lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet. Well, a non-binding lease agreement partnership is what it should say, not agreement. Partnership with Fleet Management provided with a partnership award letter. That is if the court wants to continue the process.
Do you know what the mileage would be like on the lease for these?
That's one of the questions I got.
Because like for the coroner, I mean, if they run back and forth, if they go over the
I
mileage.
was told initially there would be no limit, but we gotta, before we before we go through the whole that's why we gotta go through the process. And that's why you guys gotta talk to them, I gotta talk to them, they're gonna call each one of us up, so we can.
Yeah. We need to know what their maintenance requirements are too.
Yeah, fine, we got all those questions, because if they're gonna perform the maintenance, or we're gonna perform the maintenance. And the reason we gotta start doing this right now though is because like Morgan County Water District, they're down 3 trucks. And so I think we're at a position where I feel comfortable with them to do what we've done in the past, and that's run it through the court. And so we need to get that started just so they can, at least get something started with it.
Is the court going to have to pay for everybody's vehicles?
No, like Morgan County Water District, they pay for their own vehicles. We pay for the county vehicles, and everybody else will pay for theirs.
Sheriff will pay for their vehicles and so on.
That's like we've been doing.
Yeah, we just pay for the corners, right?
Yeah, we just pay for the corners. And there's jailers gets involved. That jail fund.
Yeah,
They go.
That's going to kill us.
Yeah.
Which the corner, I know they're in need of one now.
Yeah, they're in need of one now. And they said they could, by doing this, we can start the process on them and the water district early right now.
Yeah.
And
So-
we don't have to do that. I don't know if Greg would want to do that or not. I mean, he may not do it.
So just for example, you take the corner, they have 3 vehicles. If we done this, we could replace all 3 of theirs and sell theirs off at surplus auction. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When it's saying non-binding, it means that we don't have to be specifically buying from them.
No,
We can buy
it means
from them.
we're not, no, it means not binding. We
No,
don't have to do anything with them. They're just gonna start the process. They
Just the
need permission to
process.
start the process.
Right.
And once it's non-binding, if we get through the process, we get halfway through it, and there's something in there we don't like, back out. But I do think we need to go through the process. So it'll be interesting just to see what, all the data they put together.
Yeah, if they could do it pretty quick, and then
Yeah, I thought they can do it quickly. And then we all get our input, they'll call each one of us. You can ask them questions.
I don't see where it hurt anything to find out all the ins and outs about it.
Yeah, that's all it is, it's just an exploratory. We'll look at it, if we don't like it, we don't have to go with it. We can just back out and say, no, thank you. We find something in there like there's a limit on mileage and you can only drive 1,000 miles in a month and, something crazy, and we'll back out of that certainly. Or the maintenance plan. I want to see that maintenance plan.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so probably the corner would probably need to say what they would want,
they'll call the corner, he gets his own input into it. And he can tell them his specifics of what he needs.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Make a motion on it.
Make a motion. We'll make a motion. Make a
I
motion.
ain't really talking, but I'll do it though.
those long ones.
All right, I'm on. Hang on.
You can do it,
I'm out of
man.
water.
You can do it.
You've
I'm
got
out
it,
of
Eric.
water.
You've got it, Eric.
Yeah, all right. Make a motion to approve to enter into a non-binding master lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management and to provide them with a partnership award letter. If approved, shouldn't be, shouldn't it?
If approved, yeah.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, properly second, for approval to enter into a non-binding master lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management to provide them with a partnership award letter if approved by the Morgan County Fiscal Court. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Rural secondary roads. This was on that other one, wasn't it? Well, there's on that resolution we just did. They've also want to do. This is coming from this is coming from the Rural Roads Department. Or is this coming from KYTC, Sheena?
That's is that the recommendation?
Yeah, that was on the other resolution that we just did.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was I don't know, it's page 2. Yeah, it was on this page right here. We already did. What that is, they're also going to do extra work. Kentucky 705 They're gonna do from the 2.269 to 4.752 mile markers with 17-foot wide length and 4.752 miles, approximately $316,863 that they're gonna do. And they're also gonna do Kentucky 389, Casket Fork Road, mile point 2.9, width 15 feet, length 2.9 miles. That's from to the Morgan North County line. Junction 203, 3089.
Did they not mention 1062 Vance Fork on there? That big.
Is that the one with the river break? No, we talked about that, and they're actually the engineers are doing the geo stuff on it right now, and so they're moving forward on that.
Okay.
But they just brought that up at the end of the meeting. But they are working on that. Thanks for reminding me about that, because they didn't put it in their notes they gave me either.
I think we will just need approval of that rule secondary road
Yeah,
recommendations.
you just need approval of the secondary road recommendations.
I'll make a motion to approve the rural secondary road recommendations as presented.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to approve the rural secondary road recommendations as presented. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Can we revisit the worldwide equipment
Yes.
revised purchase agreement?
Yeah.
I have it on mine. It will not upload for some reason. It reflects on here the tariff of 3,000, but the pricing that the court will be responsible for the 2026 tandem would be the 183,496, which is just a $1,500.
Second time it's been uploaded.
It's just a $1,500 difference instead of the 3,000. It's the same. It's the same agreement. Everything's the same on the specs. It's all the same. It's just a revised. They got okay. It won't come up on mine. I don't know what's going on with it.
It did online too, but I don't
It
know.
won't come up on mine.
But now we're just responsible for half of that, correct?
1,500. Yes. If you do the math, it says it reflects the $3,000 tariff, but in the total pricing, it is $183,496, which shows a $1,500 increase, and the other $1,500 will be paid by, I'm assuming, Worldwide, but we won't be responsible for the other $1,500. I can pull up and show you all if you want to the original agreement that was signed. Hold on just 1 second. On February the 22nd, February the 14th, 2025, tandem dump truck, Morgan County, 2026 Kenworth T480 tandem truck was approved by the court for $181,996 purchase agreement with Worldwide Equipment Financing through KCO with interest-only payments for the yearly truck program. It'll be that same exact motion or same exact approval with 181,996, 1,500, 183,496, and so it's exactly 15,1.
Just a $1,500
Yep,
difference.
183,496. If you take the original price of the 181,996 that y'all approved on February 14th. Add the $1,500, it's $183,496, and all the specs stay the same. We'll still be financing through KCO. This was just something that come up on the build of the Kenworth truck. It's not Worldwide, it's Kenworth.
But we keep our spot in line.
We keep our spot, yes, and that way we can still get it before the truck goes to auction, or right at the same time. So we won't be without a tandem truck.
I'll make a motion to approve the new Worldwide Equipment Purchase Agreement for the 2026 Kenworth tandem truck for the road department.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor, properly second for the approval of the new worldwide equipment purchase agreement for the 2026 Kenworth tandem truck for the road department. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Can we, come up with funding to just keep the other truck? I mean, that's a good truck. I mean, I think you don't,
Not the one caught on fire?
no,
Oh,
keep the other,
Oh,
instead
the other
of letting
one?
it go back, the other tandem.
I think that's one of the insurance people say to that, and they said we do
Are
that.
you talking about the one that we was gonna
You
take to
talking about the one we
auction, the
lost when
big
it flipped
truck?
over?
No, the one at the auction, the
Oh.
red 24 model. I mean, you know, if it's still under.
Kenworth tandem.
I mean, it's,
I mean, because the time they go to Sand Lake, I mean, you know, I think we need a
It's-
bigger truck.
It's helped them out a whole lot.
Yes.
Oh, the one we just used for haul?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
pulling the trailers and
Yeah.
hauling it back and forth.
We've not been out no haul bills either.
I think
No, I'd like to keep that.
I would, I mean, instead of letting
instead
them
of
auction
taking
it
it to
back,
auction,
I would, but
well, that's
If we
per,
auction it off, then we get another one?
huh?
If we auction it off, then we do and take that money, turn around and put it into another one?
That's the one
That
y'all
was-
just approved.
Yeah.
To do. The part of the program is that you
have
you
to
just
send it
pay
back.
interest. You don't have to. You can have the option
To buy
to buy it. We would have to contact KCO and go through that route because we would have to finance 180, right at 182,000. We've been paying on it for
It's
this
just
last year
interest?
and a half is just interest. That's all we pay.
Whereas if we take it and we auction it, then we take the money we get, which has the potential being more than what we got, and then we take that and then we just go get another one through the same
That's
process.
this one. Are you sure you wanting to get two, to keep two?
I think we need two trucks, bigger trucks, but. you
I
know,
mean, I
just
can
whatever-
check tomorrow with them and see if they will, allow us to do two trucks, if that's what you all wanna do. And maybe do the two trucks and pay the, interest on, go two trucks in the program. If you all wanna check on that, or I can check with KCO and see if you wanna finance it, or if we want to finance so much of it and pay so much down.
Mine did.
I mean, we're giving money away left and right. I mean, we might as well just have it for something that we need. I mean, really.
Some places they can hardly get that tandem on some roads.
Yeah.
And we can check and see,
I
look
can
into it.
run some numbers for you all and see how much it would
Look into
cost.
Nothing wrong with looking into it.
Yeah, I can check into it and see.
I guess CDL drivers give them big money.
Let you know, I can let you know next meeting, or I can email you or call you
All
and
right.
let you know
Yeah,
how we
just,
can do
just,
that.
just,
Yeah, this is just discussion. I mean, I don't make no
I'll
motion to
get
keep it.
several different options and get you some numbers on it. I sure will.
Because every time you ask for a truck, well, they got that truck somewhere else, you know, they can't move the truck home, but that's somewhere they can. I mean, I don't know, I just think we need something else unless we get the trailer like we talked about before,
Low boy, just
stuff like
with
that.
equipment.
okay.
Because, I
Alright.
mean, we're always,
Well, we'll look into it, we'll explore it, we'll look into it, and we'll go from there. And then she'll,
Are
whatever
you
she finds
talking
out, she'll.
about a
call
the
you.
trailer?
truck and trailer to haul the.
Just not your stuff, drop on this.
Okay, so you have to tell me what that
Come
is.
check on me.
I'm gonna come check on that and go out. Okay. So that passed, we're moving on, where we at?
just bought, pulled the trailer.
23. All right, we're at vendor claims.
Before we move to the vendor claim,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to upload that. Was there any action taken on the enterprise?
On Enterprise?
Yes,
Yeah,
they went into the non-binding agreement.
it went to that, but we added onto it with the letter, if approved by the Warren County Fiscal Court.
Okay,
We just added that onto it.
okay.
Yeah.
So, does anybody remember who the,
Eric?
Eric
Did you make
did.
the motion, Eric?
Yeah, and I think Tommy
He
seconded.
had to take a drink of water.
Tommy,
He's
well,
still
you
jumped
know,
up.
Donnie seconded.
Donnie second.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Eric was about to
We
choke
were-
over there.
Vicki and I have been working on trying to get these things to upload. For some reason, it won't upload to the system.
All right, so we're back to ratify paid vendor claims.
Yeah, number 23.
Vicki, you get that?
Yeah, hopefully it's attached. We've had a lot of problems with
I don't, it
attachments.
just,
and I
it disappeared.
these are the
Yeah,
paid
I got it.
vendor claims, we just need, they've been paid, we just need to have it ratified. Things that are on standing order, and I think the payroll is on there as well.
I make a motion to ratify the paid vendor claims.
Second it.
We have a motion on the floor, been properly second to approve the unpaid vendor claims. Or no?
No,
To
paid.
ratify.
Paid.
Paid.
Yeah.
I already jumped down. Motion to ratify paid vendor claims. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Approve unpaid vendor claims now.
Okay, so these are clearly the, vendor claims that, you know, we're liable for, currently. And need court approval for. We have, as usual, 2 sets. We will need a motion for the unpaid vendor claims and then one for unpaid vendor claims B.
I'll make a motion to approve the vendor claims B.
We'll have to do them separately.
All right,
There's
wait,
two.
no
I'll
second.
second it.
We have a motion on the floor, properly second to approve unpaid vendor claims B. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve vendor claims A.
Yeah, that works.
I'll second it.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second to approve unpaid vendor claims A. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else to come before the court? I guess not.
Can we talk about the swimming pool?
Swimming pool?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, yeah, I can talk about that when you want to.
Well,
Last time we looked up on that, they got up to $120,000 to repair it.
who looked at it?
I can't remember, who was that? It was, 2 entities.
Some guy out of Pikeville, wasn't it?
Then we had 2 companies go down there, one from Pikeville and one from Lexington.
Yeah.
You got another idea? Somebody else want to go down and look at it?
Well, I mean, I think we need to look into it. I mean, there's a lot of people that utilize that swimming pool, especially a lot of our kids.
I'll be more than happy.
You got somebody, you know?
Only one I know will be John Brown.
That's
That
what I'm
does
saying
pool.
about what you next.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be more than happy to go meet them and head it up.
Go for it.
You guys want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Get a quote,
Get a
come
quote,
back.
see what he can do.
I've
Morgan County
never
Board
seen
of
one
might
like
give us a better deal.
All the outside stuff still looks good and everything.
Well, the main thing is you got that crack in the bottom that cannot be fixed. Me and Stanford tried to fix that. And so the biggest issue you're gonna have with that is keeping the health department happy, keeping that water. And that means you're gonna be using a lot of chlorine. And that's gonna get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Because right now, that creek water is coming in, that pool was built below water table level. So that water table is pushing up and it's got that crack in it. Me and Larry Lewis went down there and Jeff Stanford, and Larry got the latest high-tech crack filler to put it in there. Wouldn't work. And then you got the issues with the pumps that they either got to be, the last 2 guys that went and looked at it said the pumps couldn't be rebuilt anymore. Moorhead Electric said they've been rebuilding them. They said they couldn't be rebuilt anymore. Now, and that's where I came up, I thought, well, we should put our noggins together and come up with something as an aquatic center.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing. But
Yeah, I know, that's gonna be 3 years down the road,
years down the road.
Yeah.
3 to 4. But go ahead and get with John and see what he can do, see if he can rig it up. I mean, the last time, during the last administration, John Will got it up and running, and I think it worked for 2 weeks and went down after how many thousands we put into it.
Yeah, that's the only problem. We talked about it. You replace this pump, it needs replaced.
It's gonna lead to something else.
Is it gonna lead to something else?
And that's what the last 2 guys said.
That's the only thing we can do, just if we do that.
And Morehead Electric's already said it needs a new pump, so you know off the bat you gotta get a new pump.
So we're taking a shot in the dark, but I'd be happy, I'd like to get a
What is it? What's useful like it costs?
Oh, I need to know.
I've never priced anything like that.
Well, it was, like I said, the last time after they went through the whole thing, it got up to 80, and then the last one came through, they did it again, it got up to 120. And then last year, there was no way we could do it, we could have our finances with. But if we put that much money into it, I hope we get 3 months out of it. If we put that much money into it, we get 2 weeks.
But there's no guarantee that it,
Yeah.
if you wanna get with John, see what he says, and,
Yeah.
Go from there. So you got that? Okay. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, it's been properly second to adjourn. All in favor?
Uh,
All right. Something else I want to talk to you guys about while we're on here.